Let me go ahead and shut the door before we begin. How fitting, because I'm actually going to do this in the dark. Okay. Do I want to do it there, or do I want to do it like this? No, it's going to like direct too much. I want to do it like where the light is actually facing out a bit. Give it a bit of a change in pace, I guess. Holy crap, that actually fits the shit right there. So we're recording live right now, and just making sure that I can see the chat. Right now in live stream, I have with me. I can see it. Okay, so you can see it. That's cool. All right. Orlando, Rainbow, yo, what's up? How are things, man? Things have been going okay so far, despite the current situations going on out here in Vegas and things going on. Some scary shit's going on. But again, we're going to be positive with this sort of stuff. And, you know, I just want to kind of touch up upon a few things, and things are going technically okay. So I'm doing a little bit of a difference of a recording here, and apologize if the lighting is like this. I want to kind of put this in a little bit more of a different fashion. So ironically, this kind of fits the mood of what we're doing here. And the reason why I had this in such a different color, because I'm using a flashlight. So basically, you know, you're looking at this right here, and I just think this kind of sets a different tone. So right now I have with me Atticus the Death Metaler, and I have the Random Gangster with me. These two compadres, they've been with me for like a long time. They've been with me since like what, 2013, 2014?
I became friends with you in 2014, Jackson.
2014. Okay, so yeah, that's a lot there. Krista Hitness says, "Hey there, Thrash. I'm hanging in there myself with work and stuff, trying to stay safe." Christian Peck, what's up, y'all? What's going on, Christian Peck? So I want to kind of touch up with you guys right here, because, you know, I just feel like we just need to kind of like talk. And you know what? Here it's being able to say what you need to say on here. And last time I was actually doing something controversial. It was basically on you know who, or the other guy with the cult, you know, yada yada yada. Who needs details anyway? Olinder says hi to Atticus. But I just want to just talk to chat just real quick. Can you guys hear Atticus and hear Peter?
Yeah, I'm just going to do a little yada yada, zippity doo dah, zippity day. What a wonderful day it is. It lets the world burn. Can you hear me?
Let's see what they say.
Yeah, let me check, because, yeah. All right, there we go. Controversy stream.
Barely. They can barely hear you. Okay. So here's what I'm
let me live chat hear me.
I'm setting it next to the mic so that I think they can hear. All right, so Peter, speak.
Hello. Guten Tag.
Das ist good. Sauerkraut, das ist good. The Autobahn, das ist good. So I thought we'd be a little bit cheery here with the Das is good. And I'm supposed to actually shave this mustache and beard off tonight, because I promised to, you know, a woman I like that I. But anyway, so let's get serious here. So I didn't really expect this to actually happen, because it was just a few days back before I was, you know, aware about said subject. I was taking a few Polaroid pictures of the Strip in Vegas, which is about maybe 3 days before this incident happened. And, you know, I come across it on Facebook, and I don't know, everyone started talking about it. And I wasn't really expecting this to actually just go full on out there, because, you know, there has been very controversial shit involving, you know, the deaths of people, in terms of certain people that are falling to the death to cops. I can't even talk my senses right. Forgive me, people. My main issue is that they shift the focus from COVID to protest all the students as if COVID never existed. There's already 21,000 new cases since the protest. I mean, that's another controversial thing I guess I need to touch up upon too, but we'll get into that in just a moment. But it's weird to me because history itself is come full circle. We're repeating the same stuff over and over again, and we learned absolutely nothing because the same stuff is happening over and over again. And a lot of people looting and a lot of people rioting because of the certain situation right here, which I can understand people's anger and I can understand people's frustrations with it. But what I don't understand is, like, there's no benefit at all from destroying small businesses or even large businesses at all. Now, don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen, there are corporations out there that are completely bad. And I'm not putting the main focus on corporations right now because we're focusing on the main problem at hand. But I just want to add this is that from what people have been telling me, corporations have been doing kind of a crappy part in terms of protecting their or ensuring their workers and employees in terms of this. But, we got to do the best of what we can to help people out. And, I started watching a live stream, and one of the live streams my brother was a part of, and it was from Controllerize, and they were kind of spreading this positive message saying that, we need more allies and we need more people to come together and, to tell people, like, we're not going to take this like this, we're going to be peaceful about it, but, we're not going to just silently just sit by. So before I get into said subject matter, I want to kind of let Atticus talk first, and then I'm going to let Peter talk, and I want them to kind of say their piece. So I'm going to hold this up to the microphone. That way they can speak about what they feel about it. So Atticus, you are up. Wait, what?
What do you want me to talk about?
Just what you have observed and what you have kind of experienced out of it.
Okay, so let me just do a little bit of lengthy shite over here. Now, it is no stranger that I have made a couple videos criticizing the Black Lives Matter movement in the past decade. Now, it's well known that they have done some very, very cringy as well as very just counterproductive stuff, like having some of the white allies be in the back of the crowd and stuff, and as well as like some leaders of the BLM movement being, charged with sex trafficking and stuff. And it's just a wonderful shitstorm stuff. But I mean, I will say with the current situation as of right now, and especially when I've made my historian video episode on the LA riots, it actually put me a whole lot of perspective and stuff. And so, yeah, the LA riots was basically a precursor to the Black Lives Matter movement. And it just really shows, like, yeah, we basically have, in American society, we just, like, have this ingrained ever since the riots in 92. It's like, all cops are bastards. And now, don't get me wrong, like, you have good cops, but society doesn't think so. Society doesn't think that there's good cops. They just think that all are cops. That's just the harsh truth because of, like, the shit that you've seen. And it was like around Memorial Day weekend, it was like, I got these old friends of mine that I haven't seen for many years drinking at a bar, and I was like, things are going pretty well, even though it was a shitty, rain going on. At least I get to hang out with some people. And then 2020 is like, okay, there's more. And I saw the video of George Floyd, and I had the same
See, and that also put a lot of worry to me because when Atlanta was getting lit up, my brother, he lives close to Atlanta, and that's what gets me worried the most because he works around there, and that's also where some of these underground bands and some of these people who are artists who works around there, and it's really worrying to me because these are people that that pour their heart and soul into their craft, into their work, and for them to actually have to almost face those dangers too. I mean, especially around places, maybe like CNN and other places, because CNN is probably not the only target. There's other places that are being looted and scavenged, and it's a really hard thing. And I was going to touch up on one thing, but I got to let Peter get his say in too, so I got to be fair about that. So Peter.
Thank you for having me, Jason. And it feels interesting to be back on a YouTube setting after pretty much 5 years of being away from my YouTube channel. But anyways, yeah, like basically, so like with everything going on, it's a lot to process. And like first of all, I found out about George Floyd's death through social media. I saw that it was shared on Facebook, but when people said like the cop was putting his knee on his neck for 7 straight minutes, and he died as a result of it, I didn't even watch it, and I feel like I don't have to watch it, and it's because the very idea of a death being recorded, that's fucking disgusting. I didn't want to. That was wrong, and and then when everything came out, like everyone came out in an outrage, justifiably so, and we we got thrust upon this situation. We're repeating history. We're repeating the struggles of civil rights movement from the 60s in 2020. It's baffling that we have to go through this again because we made so much progress and we're taking so many steps back. I feel like Martin Luther King Jr. He would be rolling in his grave right now if he found out that we are still treating this badly. And like I said, there were some moments in the past where the Black Lives Matter movement has been used in the wrong way. It's been twisted in many unsavory ways, in the sense that it pushes white people into the forefront as the subject of racism. Yes, white people can be the targets of racism. Don't deny it just because you want to but these days, the Black Lives Matter movement is completely valid because of everything going on. This is, and in the past, the idea of white privilege, it used to sound ridiculous to me, but as I've gotten older, I've allowed myself to see the world and understand different perspectives outside of my own, and I'm slowly but surely understanding the fact that there's a system, like a class system of sorts, and a class system of sorts that keeps white people at the majority, or at the very least allow them to not deal with as much hardship as black people or Asians or Hispanics, and it's and like as I've gotten more mature, I hope I stay and become more mature in the years to come. I feel that maybe there is a form of white privilege that some people just aren't willing to acknowledge, and some people might be thinking assuming that you guys have seen my YouTube videos on the Random Gangsta channel, and you know that I have a brown skin and of Filipino ancestry.
Uh-huh.
I felt like I related to white people. Sorry to any Filipinos that might feel strongly about their national pride. But anyways, the idea of white privilege, it's now at this point in my life, I'm open to acknowledging its existence.
Thank you, Pierre. I do appreciate that. So I want to actually kind of touch up a little bit about what you said about the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, pardon my ignorance to some people because I'm not exactly sure like when all this was back then, because I know there was a bit of the whole All Lives Matter movement and then the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm sorry, I'm talking fast. So back then, or compared to now, is that what we have now is that we have a better understanding now with the Black Lives Matter movement, because now it makes complete sense, because we're now doing something because something that was wronged upon to a man who was killed by a cop and 4 other cops, I guess, who were watching, and they didn't do anything to help that situation, and therefore the death of this person is what's causing all of this outrage. Now, the ones who have every right to be outraged are the ones that are peacefully protesting. Those are the kind of people I can stand behind, because they're trying to speak out about something that needs to be addressed. And when you have authorities that abuse that power, you're starting to see what their real colors are, and I mean that in a metaphorical sense, in the sense of character. I've seen footage of cops beat a guy just senseless, and over what? And some people are going to say, well, maybe you didn't watch the full recording. I mean, I've been looking for this full recording, and I still haven't seen it, and nobody has presented it forward. I even saw a recording of a police officer yell at these people that were just standing outside of their house, and he ended up shooting rubber bullets at these people. That's completely uncalled for. That's beyond uncalled for. That is the complete. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. That is authoritarian. That is completely uncalled for, and that is not any way justified to harm a human civilian to get in their house. They have every right to actually step foot on, because they're on their property. That is nobody's right to ever do that to somebody. Whether if you are a police officer, military, whether if you are the FBI, the DEA, whatnot, there is nothing constitutionally right about doing something to a person on their property when they have done nothing wrong.
You have people that are saying that, cops are starting all this shit. And you have people saying Antifa are starting this shit as well as, the white nats, Boogaloo boys that are in the Hawaiian shirts starting shit. And all I have to say here is that from seeing all the information
And I want to add on a little bit to what Atticus is saying. And bear in mind, whether this is trolling or not, it's no excuse, because I just actually had this today, literally over an hour ago. And Peter can testify to this one because he was actually present during this. Now, if you guys are familiar with the game GTA Online, I mean, obviously that game is still pretty much around.